Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy spot! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Thursday night football review for round 8 of the 2022 NRL season. And to help me review Thursday night football between the Broncos and the Sharks, which the Broncos won 16 points to 7, is the great rugby league YouTuber ProEnzo Vidz. Lorenzo, how are you, bro?
I'm not going too bad, bro. Just a very surprising result tonight, but it was well deserved. So I'm keen to review the game.
Yeah, look, the Broncos at home, they obviously were up for this. The Sharks, on the other hand, they must have been on the plane still. They looked jet lagged. They looked They looked really slow and lethargic. I thought the Sharks would come out with a bit more intensity tonight, but the Broncos, they showed up in front of the home faithful and they gave it to the Sharks tonight, bro. They were very good, mate. Mate, what'd you think of the game? The Broncos over the Sharks.
Oh, well, I think first of all tonight, all the hype with Talakai versus Stags. I think Stags won that fairly well tonight. Actually, having covered in defence, staff stopped momentum. So look at the game in general was pretty good. You know, just the defence of Brisbane pretty much won the game, I thought, as well. Like I said, in the green room, one of the last things I would have expected this round.
Yeah, look, I think if you were looking for an upset this weekend, I don't think many people would have predicted this one.
Yeah.
Broncos obviously wanted it more than the Sharks. The Sharks tonight, I mean, look, the Broncos won the game and they deserve it, but gee whiz, the Sharks, they made the Broncos look better than what they were, in my opinion.
Well, I don't know. I think from second half last week against Manly, they looked very flat and just didn't add in any effort. So I don't know if that's an attitude thing, but yeah, they snap out of the day.
Yeah, look, you make a good point there, bro. The Sharks against your boys last week, they ended up putting 32 points on Manly early on, and then they let their guard down, and they only won by 10 in the end, 32-22. It seems like the Sharks' second half seems to be a bit of an issue for them that they need to work out on. Obviously, Craig Fitzgibbon will obviously have to sort out a few things, and there'll be a few questions being asked at training this week for the Sharks. I have no doubt about it, but mate, let's get into the review. But before we do that, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and like the Thursday Night Football Review live stream. I really appreciate everyone that likes the stream. It means a lot, and everyone that's clicked on and tuned in tonight. I really appreciate everyone so far that has come on to the review and tuned in and stuff. I really appreciate everyone's time tonight. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel of ProEnzo Vidz, make sure you do. The link to his YouTube channel is in the description below. But let's get into it. Maybe we've got 25 people in the chat as we speak. Let's get into the review, ProEnzo Vidz.
Yep.
All right. And it all started off there in the 19th minute for the Sharks. They scored the first try of the game through Matty Moylan. Matty Moylan put a grubber kick in for himself, and Moylan ends up scoring the first try of the game. Pretty ordinary defense there from the Broncos, but ProEnzo Vidz, what'd you make of Matt Moylan scoring that try? Pretty soft, wasn't it?
It was soft, but at the same time, I thought it was pretty lucky how it ricocheted off the Broncos player and made him score. So, yeah, look, it was obviously a good start for Sharks, but lucky tried to.
Great start for the Sharks, and Matt Moylan, you know, he's playing a little bit of eyes up footy, and you love seeing players put a kick in for themselves and scoring it. It's great to see. Sharks go to a 6-0 lead after 19 minutes. Good start for the Sharks, and I just want to mention in the chat before we move on to the next part of the game, bro. Shout out to King_Julian_96
Julian.
for the $5 super chat. Shout out to King Julian. He says, "Sup, Nick? Up the Bronx. What a win in the 8 now. Yeehaw, Broncos." Well, shout out to King Julian for the $5 super chat. Thank you very much, King Julian, and congratulations to your boys, the Broncos, getting a nice win up there at Suncorp Stadium. So thank you, King Julian. And I want to mention as well, if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so. PayPal is the preferred option because the money goes into my bank account instantly. The link for my PayPal is in the description below. And Super Chat is also active as we speak, as King Julian has just proven to us all with the $5 Super Chat. But anyway, Broncos 6-0. Good start for the Broncos. 6-0 for the. Hang on, sorry to rephrase that. Sharks 6-0. Good start for Cronulla, ProEnzo, Vidz. And mate, I don't usually bring this up, but I've got a question for you, mate. 21st minute, the Sharks captain's challenge, the Nico Hines knock on. Bro, in my opinion, and in over 100 years of football, since 1908, that was a knockback from mine. The Nico Hines knock on when the challenge was unsuccessful. I don't know about you, ProEnzo, Vidz. I'd love to hear your take on it, but for me, that is a dead set knockback.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I first saw it, I instantly thought it was knock on. Like I thought it was knock on straight away. But looking at how he sort of got the ball like he tried to supposed to get the ball backwards, obviously. But I don't know. Looking at it more, I think he might have just had lost possession before he hit it back. That's my thoughts.
The reason why I say it's a knockback is because when the ball went to Nico Hines' hands, it was tapped forward from Nico Hines himself, where if he didn't do it, he would have knocked the ball on himself. And then he turned around and he faced backwards, and the ball went back. And I just don't understand how they can call that a knock on. I thought that was a terrible decision. I don't agree with it one bit, but ProEnzo, Vidz, like I say every single week, if you're going to challenge it in the first half and you lose it, it's your own fault, because I genuinely believe save your captain's challenge to the last 20 minutes or something. Don't use it early, because if you lose it and there's a big decision late in the game that you think went against you, you got to save it for the end, man. You can't be using it early. So, yeah, if you use your challenge early and there's a bad call that goes against you late in the game, it's your own fault. So, unlucky there from Nico Hines, but that's what you get for challenging it early, even though I reckon it was a bad call. Challenge should have been successful, but anyway,
Agreed.
You can't get all the calls right, I guess. And ProEnzo, Vidz, mate, in the 34th minute, Adam Reynolds tackled Will Kennedy, and Will Kennedy's elbow hit Reynolds in the nose. Reynolds went off with an injury. Were you worried about the Broncos being down 6-0 when Adam Reynolds went off the field?
Well, he's a marquee half, and I think he's one of the people that really set up tries and really lead the Broncos team around. So I had a feeling he'd be back. I mean, if his nose wasn't broken, and I think he'd be fine to come back. He's just a normal concussion sort of time. Yeah, for the amount of time he's off, obviously that's a normal concussion. Like for I don't know, I think it's like 10, 15 minutes for how long you're off for a concussion.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, usually.
Yeah, so I had a feeling he'd be back, so I wasn't too worried. But if they lost him for longer, then I probably would have.
Well, they lost Reynolds, and then, mate, 5 minutes later, right before half-time in the 39th minute, Tyson Gamble gives a pass to Tamari Martin. Martin's running with speed in the line. He gives it to Tony Staggs. Staggs puts a nice fend on Mulatalo. Too much speed for Talakai, and Staggs scores in the corner. Bro, that was one hell of a try. What a freak Tony Staggs is.
I think tonight that's my favourite try of the night. Like Staggs, look, if he's injury free and if he continues to keep that form up, I think he's definitely I dare say the top 3 centre in the comp. I think he might be top 5 right now, but I think top 3 is definitely up there because that's the potential he has as a player if you can get it right every game.
It was just a brilliant try, man. You're putting a big fend on a winger like Mulatalo. Mulatalo's a tough man to get past, so Staggs did very well there to get past Mulatalo. Mulatalo is going to play for New Zealand in the World Cup at the end of the year, so Staggs is doing that. It's quite frightening, bro. Staggs scores in the corner. Staggs converts his own goal from the sideline because Reynolds was off, so Staggs scores. Staggs converts on the sideline, which was a great kick, by the way. Leveled up at 6 apiece, Lorenzo, and with about 5 seconds to half time, Nico Hines from about 25 metres out on a bit of an angle takes a shot at field goal and converts it. Sharks go to 7-6 at half time. Mate, what were your thoughts on Nico Hines taking a field goal? Do you agree with Nico Hines? Like, are you fine with him taking a shot at field goal there and taking a 1 point lead?
Look, it didn't change the game. I mean, they still lost. I mean, like you don't see it often, but I guess to have that lead at half time, I guess that helps in some way.
Well, if they're 25 meters out, scores are level, half time's in 5 seconds, the chances of you scoring a try is very slim. So having a shot at field goal and taking the lead is not a bad idea at all. So very
Right.
smart there from Nico Hines. Half time, Sharks 7-6. And, mate, second half, Adam Reynolds is back on for the Broncos. How big of an influence does Adam Reynolds coming back on for the second half? How big of an influence is that on the Broncos, Lorenzo?
Yeah, I think he's quite big actually. I mean, I think he's like I said, he's the most experienced halfback, and he's a great leader for that club as well. So I think having him back was one of the reasons why they probably won. Because I think if they lost him for longer than 15, 10 minutes, then I think they would have been in trouble. Like I said, so big impact for sure.
Well, he went off at the 34th minute, came back on at the 41st minute. So it was only off about 7 minutes. So it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's all right.
Broncos were able to cope without him for a couple of minutes. It was all good. My second half starts, and the Broncos start like a house on fire in the second half. 43rd minute, Heavy Farmworth scores a try. Reynolds gives it on to Tyson Gamble. Gamble gives it on to Farmworth, and Farmworth scores. Mate, really poor defense there from Jesse Ramian. But Herbie Farmworth, just such a gun, man. And a
Yeah,
chance of
yeah.
playing for England in the World Cup at the end of the year. But Jesse Ramian, man, defensively, he's got to be a lot better there, bro.
Look, I really thought that their right side really came apart. Like I think Raymond was very bad in landing those two tries in the second half by Cronulla, but or by Brisbane. I'm sorry to say it, but yeah, no, just the right side in general, like really fell off. I thought, and that's where I think they just were soft in the second half, just defense overall.
Yeah. Just Jesse Ramian's defense on Herbie Farmworth there for mine just simply wasn't good enough. And if you're going to be defending on the cup like that when they're running with the line, you just got to keep sliding across. And Ramian just sort of stood flat, and the contact from Farmworth was just too good. It was really,
Can't do
really
that.
poor defense there from Ramian. And I think that's something that he can work on because in attack, Ramian is a damaging strike center, but in defense, got to work on his game there, man.
He's suspect there.
Yeah. Reynolds misses the goal from the sideline. Broncos lead 10 points to 7. And, mate, literally 6 minutes later, in the 49th minute, the Broncos score again. Kurt Capewell. Gamble gives a nice pass to Capewell. Capewell beats Nico Hines. This defense of Nico Hines here was ordinary as. Capewell goes in and scores. Mate, you thought Jesse Ramian's defense was bad. Nico Hines' defense there was
Yeah,
dreadful, bro.
terrible. I think Nico Hines. I think this was Nico Hines' worst performance in the number 7 jumper for the Sharks. Defensively,
I
it was
agree.
awful. Kept running in circles. Didn't know where to go, where to pass, or when to just kick the ball. I don't know. Just a very poor game from him tonight. I think Moylan was the better half, but he was a bit iffier as well.
Yeah, Nico Hines in attack tonight was a little bit flat. He looked a little bit tired, I thought. And
Yeah.
Matt Moylan obviously probably was the better half. And I got to say though, I don't want to be too I don't want to be too critical of the Sharks. It's only one bad game I've had in the last couple of weeks, but mate, Will Kennedy at fullback tonight, he offered absolutely nothing. He wouldn't pass the ball when they had opportunities to, 4-on-3s and 3-on-2s. Will Kennedy tonight, he was very average in my opinion.
Yeah, wasn't he going to be ruled out tonight with some
It was in
problem?
doubt to play. He had a shoulder injury going into it. I was
Mm,
surprised he played. They did have Matty Cavallo on the extended bench just in case. Um, Look, I don't want to be too upset. I don't want to be too critical of Will Kennedy, but his performance tonight wasn't good enough, and he probably shouldn't have played with that shoulder injury he had. Shouldn't have played.
Yeah, I was going to say that shoulder injury probably impacted his performance tonight.
I think it did. If you go back and watch the replay of the game, I think it did, man. I don't think he should have played it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't pass the ball. I don't remember Will Kennedy passing the ball much 3-on-2 to the winger. Didn't happen very
No, he
much.
didn't. He didn't. No, he didn't. He was just running it himself all the time, which I didn't know why.
And for some reason, Will Kennedy, Nico Hines, Matt Moylan, They wouldn't pass the ball to Talakai tonight. I didn't understand it, Lorenzo. I didn't understand it one bit. Talakai's a beast. Give him the ball. But they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't bloody
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. It's what a shame.
It was crazy. Mate, Broncos obviously led 16 points to 7 at that point, and we get to the 54th minute, bro, when Payne Haas goes off, heads to the sheds, and apparently he's got some sort of AC joint shoulder injury, so he's ruled
Yeah,
out for the rest of the game at the 60th minute. Mate, I tell you what, when it was 16-7 Broncos with 20 minutes to go, I generally thought the Sharks were just going to steal this. I'm like, righto, Haas is gone, 20 to go. Sharks will run over the Broncos here, but it didn't happen, did it?
yeah. Well, it's impressive they still won because obviously they lost Reynolds for a period of time and lost Pass for a
About 10
period of
minutes,
time
yeah.
as well. So yeah, no, that just shows that the attitude was there for Brisbane tonight for sure.
It shows resilient. It shows encouragement by your teammates, and it shows commitment that they want to win. They don't want to be losing games. They want to be winning these games at home. They don't want to be losing. They
Exactly.
want to be winning. And good on the Broncos tonight, man. I was impressed with their surgeons in defense tonight. I thought they were good. And mate, just towards the end of the game, the Sharks they had 1,000 chances. They couldn't score. Talakai got held up in the 70th minute. Mate, when Talakai got the ball, I thought he was going to score for all money, Lorenzo.
You know, if we came back close tonight, then why didn't you get the ball enough? Because imagine if he had more chances
Yeah,
like that tonight. You know, he's probably most likely to score a couple of tries tonight if he got the ball like that in the second
yeah.
half. But
I didn't
anyway,
understand it. Look, in my opinion, the Sharks played dumb tonight. Give the ball to Talakai. They gave him the ball in the first 5 minutes. He was shut down because there was 3 people on him every time. And then after that, he wouldn't touch it. They wouldn't give it to him. And people are going to say, oh, but why doesn't Talakai go looking for the ball? Well, that's not his role. That's not his job. His
no,
job
he's not.
is to run lines off the half. So Moylan can give him a face ball, or Will Kennedy can give him a short ball into the line as well. But for some reason, the Sharks went away from that tonight. They went away from what's been working the last couple of weeks for them, and for some reason, they just didn't do it. And mate, we get the full time, and the Broncos get the win, 16 points to 7. A very unusual scoreline, but I guess that's what happens when you kick a field goal. For our time, you
Yeah.
get weird scorelines. Mate, ProEnzo Vidz, the Broncos, are you impressed by them tonight, or were you disappointed with the Sharks' performance? Was it more of the Broncos were better because of their resilience in defense, or was it more the Sharks were just awful? What is your opinion on that on tonight?
Well, I thought the Sharks started pretty well. Like the first opening 20 minutes looked like they had the momentum. It looked like they were going forward. And from that point, I was like, okay, look, Sharks are starting like this. I think they'll go on with it for the rest of the match. But it goes to show you that, momentum can change very quickly in one game. And that's the example of Brisbane. They still fight it in there. They defended well. I think they sort of frustrated Sharks a bit as well with their defense and holding them out a couple of times because the Sharks had a lot of chances to score, but I just think Brisbane's defense was the main reason why they won. And yeah, that's. I mean, I am impressed with Brisbane. They're in the 8 now. They're top, sitting in 8th place. So, yeah, no, I think if you're a Brisbane fan, you have every right to celebrate tonight.
Good on them. Good on the Broncos. At home, getting a win over the Sharks, a team that's been in good form. Good on them. Now, I haven't seen any stats. I'm
Yeah.
having a look right now. It's my first time looking at the stats from tonight's game. Both teams had 50% each possession, so both teams had even amount of possession. The Broncos had a 77 completion rate of 31 from 40 sets, so not too bad there. As for the Sharks, so 70% completion rate. 29 from 41 is not going to win you a game of football very often,
No,
unless
not at
you're
all.
playing the Bulldogs or someone down the bottom. The Raiders, for example, someone like that. The 6 agains were the Sharks 4-1. The penalty count was 4-1 in favor of Brisbane. 5-4 in favor of Brisbane, sorry. Sharks made 13 errors. Brisbane made 10. And the missed tackles were Brisbane 33 to the Sharks 30. And the Sharks made 360 tackles. The Broncos 307. So,
Interesting.
Lorenzo,
Wow.
on those stats, what stands out for you the most on them stats?
I think that the amount of tackles, like I think with the Broncos winning, just like how close it actually is, which surprised me because I thought that maybe it would have been the Sharks who might have had a higher sort of number and Brisbane would have been less, But
The Sharks made
um,
53 more tackles than the Broncos did tonight.
yeah, I mean I'm surprised by that because they had to defend more,
Yeah, unbelievable. Broncos were good tonight, and they deserve the win. I mean, I don't think Brisbane are, you know, anything special this year. I don't think they're going to be anything to worry about if they make the finals or anything like that. But um, a very important win for them tonight. If I had a loss tonight, Lorenzo, the Broncos would have been 3-5, which would have been pressure. Now they're 4-4, 4 wins, 4 losses to start the year. That they have played Roosters, they have played Penrith, they've played the few of the top sides already this year, and um, tonight they played the Sharks, who are currently in the top 4. So I'll tell you what, the Broncos tonight, there was a very important win for them. So good on
Big win.
the Broncos. Sharks were a bit off their game, but I want to mention this, Lorenzo. The return of Wade Graham tonight. Wade Graham came back tonight, which was great to see, by the way. He played 24 minutes, ran for 40 meters and whatnot. Made 12 tackles. Now, I am a big Wade Graham fan. I've always rated Wade Graham. I think he's had an incredible NRL career. I think he's a
Yeah.
great ball-playing second rower. I think he's been an enormous player over the years. Tonight was his first game in just over 12 months, and I know he's underdone tonight. But, mate, Wade Graham tonight, he looks slow. He looks a bit overweight. He looks lethargic. He looks like the game's gotten a bit too quick for him. I don't know if Wade Graham's got the speed to play in the back row, bro. Wade Graham can't be in the back row. I think the game's gotten too quick for the back row for him now. I know he can ball play. I don't know if he can play a lock. I don't know if he'll last at lock, but Wade Graham tonight, bro. I know it's his first game back, but the game seems to have gotten so much quicker. I don't know if Wade Graham can handle the modern day game with how quick it is. Mate, what's your take on Wade Graham's return tonight? I'm glad he's back, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if he's a back rower.
Well, I agree. First of all, I think the game has gone past him. Like, he looks slow, like you said, and him not playing since June, which is a very long time, by the way,
Long time.
last year. That definitely sort of disadvantaged him a little bit as well. So, I like Wayne Graham. I think he's always been a good player, but I think retirement is not far away for someone like him, unfortunately.
Injuries haven't helped, and obviously, I hope Wade Graham comes out next week and has a blinder. But man, I don't know. The Sharks have got so many good back rows coming through there. They've got Nakora, they've got Wilton. Talakai can play back row. You've got so many guys coming through that Sharks system. Jack Williams can play back row, for example, as well. I've got so many guys that can play there. Wade Graham came in for Andrew Fafita tonight, and I don't even know if Fafita being dropped was a good idea. Fafita's been pretty decent for the Sharks last couple of weeks off the bench. So
Yeah.
Wade Graham definitely needs to work on a lot, man. He just looks slow, man. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we're going too far. Maybe it's just one game and all that, but he just looks slow, man. I just don't know.
I mean, we'll see what he's like next game. I think we'll see what he's like next game. We'll see if he's looks a little bit better because he had that match
Yeah,
fitness today. But
match
yeah,
fitness
no,
is another good
there's
point.
issues. There's issues.
Good point as well. And the Sharks next week, will they take on the Warriors down there at Shark Park? So we'll see how it goes. It's obviously going to take Wade Graham a few weeks to get into things again, but I'll give Wade Graham to round 12, Lorenzo, and if he's still playing like this, I'd say drop him. But it's only one game.
Yeah.
Obviously, give him a few weeks to get back into the grim of things, but he's got a lot to work on.
Definitely.
The game's gotten quicker, and he just looks really slow, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with those comments. Definitely.
No doubt about it. But ProEnzo, Vidz, mate, I'd like to know who would your top 3 players on ground be tonight from 3, 2, 1, and obviously number 1 being your man of the match. Who would your top 3 players be from tonight's game?
Yeah, very tough one actually. There's been a lot of good players that played tonight, but yeah, starting from 3, I'm gonna go with Kurt Capewell. I thought Capewell was pretty good tonight. I thought he was solid
Yep.
out there. Did a good job. I thought for the time he was on, so I think he gets number 3 for mine. Number 2, it's very tough because I'm tossing between the 2 centers, but I went number 2, Katoni Staggs. Staggs was very good against Talakai tonight. He shut him down and basically stopped any momentum that Talakai got as well. So I think Staggs had a great game tonight. And my man of the match, I think Farnworth, actually. I think Farnworth deserves man of the match, in my opinion. Just the amount of tackle breaks he made and just his defense as well. And I guess the only negative of his game tonight was when he didn't pass the ball to Corey Oates in the second half. I really thought he would have
Oh,
scored Oates because he's good at diving in the corner, but yeah, he can't win them all, of course. But yeah, I think Farnworth deserves it for me.
I've got the same top three as you, mate, but I've got it in a little bit of a different order. Number
Yeah,
3, Katoni Staggs. I thought Staggs tonight was great. Did a great job on that right side. That tricycle was outstanding as well. And defensively, did a good job on Talakai, even though he barely got the ball. But defensively, he read everything pretty well. And every time he had the ball, he just looked dangerous. Number 2, Kurt Capewell. He was great tonight, Capewell.
oh,
And
yeah,
how good was that chip and chase he did when he made that break and chipped it
yeah,
over the
yeah,
top?
yeah.
How good was that? You love seeing that. That's great
Awesome.
footy from Capewell. He's a weapon. And number 1, I'm with you, Lorenzo. I think Hobie Farnworth was man of the match. I thought he was outstanding. 160 running meters, scored a nice try, defended well. Hobie Farnworth's a great player, and I thought tonight he really stood out for mine. So Hobie Farnworth's getting my man of the match for the Broncos. 16 points to 7 win over the Sharks. And before we wrap things up, another follow super chat from King_Julian_96. Shout out to King Julian, man. That's $10 he's donated to the live stream tonight. That's
$10.
outstanding. What a legend King Julian is. Must be payday for King Julian. What a man.
It's got to
Looking
be.
forward to
Sure.
Broncos Rabbitohs next week. Should be a good game. Yes, it will be. Adam Reynolds will be playing this time. It'll be the Adam Reynolds Cup next Thursday night at ANZ Stadium. Rabbitohs Broncos, the Adam Reynolds Cup. How good's it going to be next week, Lorenzo? The Reynolds Cup, bro. How good?
Oh, the Reynolds Cup is supposed to happen in round 1, but we get to see it now back in Sydney, so I'm looking forward to that game. Not going to miss that one for sure.
Looking forward to seeing if the Rabbitohs can get a bit of payback from round 1. But King Julian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate it, bro. It's $10 you donated to the show. What a legend that bloke is. But Lorenzo, that might wrap up the Thursday Night Football review, mate. Thank you for coming on tonight, bro.
No, thank you, bro. It was good. It was good, actually. Good game to review, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent game of football. Obviously, it could have been better, but you can only take what you get, and it's just great to see NRL on Thursday nights. Unbelievable. It's fucking fantastic. But anyway,
Absolutely.
guys, that's it for the
Absolutely.
Thursday night football review for round 8 of the NRL between the Broncos and the Sharks. The Broncos have beaten the Sharks 16 points to 7 at Suncorp Stadium. Me and ProEnzo Vidz have given Hobie Farnworth as the man of the match. Anyway, guys, we're getting out of here. Thanks for tuning in to the review. Like and subscribe. Go check out ProEnzo Vidz's YouTube channel. The link's in the description below. Subscribe to me as well if you haven't already. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic Thursday night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Friday night football review between the Titans and the Panthers and the Rabbitohs and the Seagulls. Have a good night, lads. See you later.